What's up, everybody? I've been trying to push a video forward on a project I've always wanted to do, but it just didn't go forward because one of the neighbors over here was going to help me with a project. We had an older van. I don't know if it was an 88 or 89. It was an EG50. I know it probably would have need engine work and transmission work, wherein probably brakes, tires, rims, strut, shocks, whatever. Especially with the different kinds of weights, what we were going to do, you would need it for the suspension. And this is when Alan was around, so he would have learned just like I. Now, I know nothing about mechanical or plumbing or electrical or wood. I mean, I know what wood is. I know what pipe is. I know what wiring is. I know what electricity is for. And I know what water's for. Water keeps you alive. Electricity can charge your batteries or keep you warm or cook for you. And play with toys and other necessary needs for electricity. Okay? But the thing is, if you don't know how to deal with electricity and how to wire, electricity ain't going to work. I don't care if you got 50 batteries fully charged. The wiring ain't going to work for that switch or that plug or that heater or that air conditioning box if it's not wired right. And this neighbor, he had a lot of trades. He was a mechanic for whatever many years because he was in the Army. See, that's the thing, the Army. I love the Army. 1 minute you can be home for 6 months, and the next second you can be gone for 6 months. That's the thing. He didn't know when he was going to get pushed out because he did his employment. He went to Iraq and did what he had to do. When did he go to Iraq? Years ago. I don't know if it was before 9/11 stuff went on, and that sucks. I don't know if it was after that or before that or 10 years ago. Because, trust me, they're probably still doing stuff out there. And that was a big mess. For what reasons? Because somebody wasn't happy about something going on somewhere. And that's not good. Anyways, he was going to help me get the van running again, moving. I know I didn't have the key, so what we were going to do, truthfully, we weren't going to run a key. We were just going to run a push starting system, and we were just going to get an electric system key fob to open and close the doors. And we were going to put power windows in, so it means we had a brand new windshield, brand new side windows, brand new locks on the doors, and then the other thing needed to be worked on, and we got worked on, and so on. We were going to build a small style camper RV setup. It would have a decent sized refrigerator with a freezer. How much food would the freezer hold? Well, he was telling me at the time, if you're like Hungry Men, it would easily hold 5 Hungry Men's, and maybe like 3 of them flat tray stuff. Can't remember their names. Or it would hold, if you bundle it right, if you package your meals right, you have different kinds of food. You know, you put it, you get flat chicken or something. You know, you can have 2 pounds of chicken in there. You can have 2 pounds of hamburger in there, 2 pounds of pork chops in there, and you can have 2 pounds of steak in there. Just stacking them up. But everything has to be flat. You can get a good 2 pounds of hamburger and flatten it. You know, you have a couple steaks in there. Will they be 2 pounds? That'd be a lot of steak. But you can put three different size, good size steaks in there. You can get 3 good portion size of pork chops. And you can put a couple pieces of chicken in there. Especially if it's boneless. And you can blend it down. So you would have some great meals. And that. Now, you wouldn't have hungry men, but you would have meat. And then you probably could have got some corn and green beans too in there at the sides or something. And then we would have had a shower and stuff. We would have had a toilet. And it would have been flush. It wouldn't have been no composting. You wouldn't have to worry about cat litter, sand, bags. It would have went down in some kind of dirty tank. And then we would have had a clean tank. I don't know how much, we weren't for sure how much water we were going to hold, because then we would have had to do the math on how big the hot water tank was, or there was another setup. I'll get back to that with the water. And then we would have had to figure out how big the clean tank was and the dirty tank was going to be, because there was 2 options on the sink where we're going to run it. One big sink, or 2 decent sized sinks, just big enough to hold a 12 or 13-inch plate. Now, if you get any bigger, and then it would have just had a regular faucet, and it would have had a little spraying knob. But we were going to make sure it was the ones with the knobs, so you can control the hot water and control the cold water. So, you know, you get warm water or whatever to wash your hands, or for delicate items. Not just the one you go up and go over a little bit. You can go max hot, or go in the almost 75% and it'd be warm. No, I want 400 and 400 cold. Not 50-50. Or, you know, hot water, you know, I don't want 75% cold water and 25% hot. I want it 50-50 or whatever, 75 and 75, whatever, you know what I mean? Or directly 100 and 100 in, and it'd be perfect warm water. So there was a style called instant hot water, and this is where he didn't know if I wanted to run propane and that, because then we got the stove. Did I want an electric stove, or did I want a gas stove? So if I was going to run instant water, there would have been a gas stove. Because if I was going to have a gas stove, I was going to have a gas instant hot water. And the thing was, that would have been constantly running. And that would have been using fuel. I don't know if you can just, the fuel ain't gonna, the flame's gonna burn and burn and burn and burn. And that's the thing, was I gonna use the propane for the heat, to heat up the van. Because there was gonna be a wall where the passenger would sit, or the driver would sit. Now this van ain't big, so everything would have been micro-sized. The bed would have been homemade. And even if we had the bed where we can hang it up and put it on the hook, it doesn't give you any extra room. Because then you would have to move the stuff you had there to put the bed down. So you don't save any room. So, or even if the bed would go up and the table would drop, eventually you would have to put the table back up on the bed. It would get hid by the bed, and the bed would have to come down. So you're not really, you know, because it'd be, don't clean the stuff off the table ain't gonna go back in the bed. So, then there was other stuff like a kitchen table, the countertops, how many cabinets down below, how many cabinets at the top, and so on. And again, like I said, I would have had to probably replace the windshield, most likely windshield wipers, windshield motors, whatever to the engine. We'll probably just honestly do an overhaul on the transmission, do an overhaul on the rear end, overhaul on the motor. At this point, probably would have went to the junkyard and found a better engine. But I like the part of no keys, just have a fob to open the doors and just push down the brake and just push. And we would have got all brand new brakes and all that brake lines, gas lines, fuel pump, fuel tank, all that would have been replaced because stuff for the whole tanks would have to get pushed around. Muffler would have had to change. But then probably could have put the water and all that in the van, but then you're taking up space. So all that, then we would have had to have, he would have had to build heat shields for the water and stuff. And then the instant water would have had to be underneath, and that would have had to be in some kind of protection shield from rocks. And another thing, not only a protection shield is for the heat, it'd be for the rocks too, to not to crack the tanks. So the water tank would have been down there, the dirty tank would have been down there, the instant water would have been down there, and then you would have had to build a bunch of shields. Now, we probably could have got away with this style of metal. You probably could have got away with just basic sheet metal. Sheet metal ain't supposed to rust, and it would have been painted or rubber coated or rhino lined or whatever they use. But rhino lined rubber melts, and so it probably we probably would have painted black what they use for grills, so it can withstand temperatures of 600, 700, 800 degrees. I don't think a muffler gets above 200 degrees anyways, but I could be wrong. Like, again, I'm not a mechanic, but you know how that all goes. So it would have been a great project. The wheels that I was going to use was almost like my truck rim, but a little bit wider. I mean, it would have been like this. It would have been hardcore. Yes, the truck's dirty. I'm sorry. It's now almost like my truck's not my baby anymore. It's a taxi cab, honestly. But that's another story, another day. Yeah, for real. And like I said, we would have had to figure out the springs, the shocks, the struts, or whatever you want to call it, suspension for the weight. And the good thing about that is everything he was going to put in, cabinetry and all that, would have been weighed. The tank would have been weighed with water. Tank would have been weighed without water. The hot water tank would have been weighed. And if we were going to run propane, at the time, I had a big tank, a big 21 gallon, and I had two small 6 or 7 gallons. I could have ran just them two small 6 or 7 gallons, I can't remember what they were, or I could have run the big 21. Problem is, where was I going to mount that? Or we could have just ordered one, almost like a 40-gallon propane tank, and it would have been made to our liking, and we could have shoved it somewhere. And that propane would have been in the vehicle somewhere, on top of the solar panels. How many solar panels would we really need? Now, I was thinking at the time, and I was thinking the same thing with him. Like, well, we need probably like 13 or 1400 watts, So I was thinking, I was going to maybe run 450s, 450 watts 4 times. And I was thinking, okay, just go get a bunch of RV batteries. RV batteries are what, 14.4 volts or whatever it is. And it's supposed to push whatever kilowatts or whatever. And I was just going to be like, well, 1 solar panel, battery. 1 solar panel, battery. So 4 solar panels, 4 batteries. That's what I was thinking. Then have a converter box to push out the wattage for the refrigerator, for the microwave. See, my microwave was going to be 500 watts by itself, or 550 or 650. So that would have been almost 1 solar panel right there, because 1 solar panel would have been 450. But I don't think it works like that, honestly. But I don't know, because my laptop power strips is 450. So, but then my laptop can run on battery. But then, you know, you got your televisions, you got my PlayStation. At the time I had PlayStation 4. And I had a 42-inch Sony TV. So all that has to come into play. And at the time, like I said, I had a 550 or something. 550 or 600 microwave at the time I was going to put in there. I had a 4-bay toaster. The one you push down, and it had a clock and different settings from light to dark. All them little gadgets. Then I had a Keurig, 1 cup Keurig. And I had a decent sized air fryer at the time. And I was going to put some other skillets in there too, but all that would have had to come into play. So all them weights when I had to come and play was kind of suspension. Then, all because it's just me and my wife, doesn't mean it would have just been me and my wife in the camper. So, give or take, we would have had to push another, just say 1,000 pounds just for clothing and humans. There is a hawk, not a hawk, eagle chasing a seagull, if I'm correct, over here. You can't see him on camera because this ain't the best front view camera, but the other cameras in the back, you might have been seeing it, but I don't know how to flip my camera on the video through my phone. I know there's a way through other things. That's an eagle right over there. But it's chasing, it looked like a gray and white seagull. But it could be a different kind of breed eagle too. I mean, not all eagles are white and brown. I've seen gray and black and brown eagles too. And them look like they're tough guys, they're tough women. But I don't know, this one looked like it had a gray head and pure white. So I've never seen an eagle like that. But there's other words for like albino, maybe? Not for certain it has red eyes, maybe? I don't know. But it flew over here. And it came through this pole. You see, it's right there. You see, that's right there is the eagle. But then there's a white bird that eagle is chasing. But see the white bird right there. Here's the white bird right there, and it has a gray and white on him. So I don't know. Here goes the hawk. I believe that's the hawk. And then there's the eagle. And here goes the hawk. No. Here goes another eagle. Now, I believe it's a seagull. But there's an eagle, a hawk, and an eagle flew through here. Here, see? The seagull's right there. That's the seagull, right there. Right by that pole right over there. See it? It's gray and white. It just landed. It's right on this light pole. Right on this light pole. That looks like a seagull. That is a seagull. I guarantee it's a seagull. It's right on that green light pole right there. See, I don't know if you guys can see that. You can see the bird. Barely can see the bird. Right there. That's a seagull. And yeah, see, I don't like recording cars because then they think I'm up to no good. Yeah, that's a seagull now. And the two birds at the time were one hawk, one eagle. But then another eagle swooped through here. I don't know where it came from, but that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But back to what my project, that's what we're gonna do. And at the end, we're gonna figure out the weights and all that good stuff. But it just never went through because when the time we were gonna do this, I had the money. I was gonna just end up pushing out a loan. Now I ended up getting a loan. You all know that I've been in debt for 10 years with a $10,000 loan, and I only pay like $185, and with interest, when I pay $185, only about 80 of it goes into credit, and 120 or whatever is interest. Well, we know that banks, loan companies, or whatever, loan officers, or whatever you want to call them, they need to make their money. So $80 times 12 is only like $450, $500 bucks, $550, whatever 80 times 12 is. I'm not going to do any math. You guys are more than welcome to do the math. I used to know all my homework because I used to know on my other channel before you got these passwords and emails got all scrambled up. I don't know what happened. Who knows? When you drink a little bit and then, you mess up stuff. When you go into your settings and stuff, and who knows? I could have put a capital letter where it should have been a smaller case. Where a smaller case could have been a capitalized. I don't know. I've tried 1,000. It can be 4 or 5 different. In my email alone, it could be one capital letter in all smaller cases, or capital letter, small case, capital letter, couple smaller cases, 2 capital letters. Knowing me, if you don't get it perfect every time, then your email ain't gonna work. It don't matter if you know your password or not. So we're trying to figure it out. I've tried it already. I've tried different ways. It got to the point they locked up my email. And the thing is, wasn't really worried about the email. The thing is, I really did forget my password through my YouTube. And this is where now I can't even get to the email. Because even if I say forget passwords through YouTube, well, it's going to have to go to that email. Or I can send it to another email. But I don't know how that works. At this point, I'm so far ahead with this newer channel. I mean, there's more subscribers on this channel now. But I think there was only like 32 or 42 on the other channel. But I had a little bit more traffic. But hey, that's okay. Because when I make my short videos, I make up for it. It's just I wished the people who watch my short videos would push themselves forward to watch these videos. Because these videos are just as fun as the other ones. And only why I haven't been pushing is because we gotta take care of that old guy next door to us. And there's no way around it. You can't be happy. If I can't be happy, I can't push out a good video for you guys. But just to talk to you guys, do some little gameplays for you guys. Not only this guy was jack of all trades, he was gonna start editing for me. Editing these videos, what I'm doing right now for you guys. So if I made a mistake, he can fix it for me. And we can go through them like, yeah, that needs to be deleted. I was gonna do projects with this truck. Everything I did by putting the fuel pump in with a friend of ours. And I was gonna record him. And he knew I was gonna record him. But and all that good stuff. But it just, you know, he had to go back to work. And got to the point, he never came home. Never came home. We all know how long Alan's been gone. And other people came here. My best friend and his wife and her kids came here and lived for like 2 years. So it's been roughly 8 years, 9 years since this project was going to get pushed forward. He went back to the Army. I don't know exactly what happened. He's not who he is anymore. He's still alive. That's a blessing. But he'll never be able to do the life skills the way he was. Again, not as fast, not as strong, but he could do it. But it'd be very, very slow. But they don't live here. They live in a special place for his special needs. While his wife can still go to work, his kids can still be, I think, well, they're in high school now. They were probably like 4th or 5th grade at the time. I think they were still in elementary school. At least over here, it's elementary school to like 7th grade, and then you go to middle school for 7th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th, 11th, and 12th high school or whatever. I can't remember. And they were still little guys. So them kids can be probably sophomores and seniors now because they were like 2 years apart. But another thing I said 8 years ago, one was in 4th and one was in 5th. So they could be one could be a sophomore, or one could be a senior, and the other one could have graduated. I don't know, or be in college. I mean, it's been 8 years. But he ended up getting shot in the neck. And that's all I really know. And he's in a wheelchair. And I don't know if he can walk. I don't know if he can even use his arms. And this sucks. So now they're in a special place where they can get all the help they ever wanted. And that's the best thing for him and his family. And he's so young. I think at the time I knew him, he was my age. I'm 40, I just turned 42. I think he was a year or two older than I was. So he's 43 or 44, maybe 45 right now. Last time I heard from his wife on Facebook was about 4 years ago. And it's just really, really even hard to even talk about this. Never really wanted to talk about this. But that was a project I always wanted to do because the vehicle was here. I had a mechanic. I had somebody who knew electrical and water and about fuel, gas, and everything. He knew how to fix cars. He knew how to cut wood. He knew about chemistry, water stuff, and all that. And we really never even talked about how we were going to keep the place cool, how we were going to keep it heated. All we really talked about is instant water. Do I want one big tank or small tank? Yes, we were going to make a double bed. Yes, it was going to get hung up. Yes, we were going to have a small shower. We were going to have a thing to at least have a few pounds of meat in it, like I said, in the freezer. In the refrigerator, it would have held a gallon of water, gallon of milk. Oh, that would have been big. You would have put a bunch of food in the refrigerator, like lunch meats and eggs and sausage and bacon and whatever you're going to cook the next day or whatever. It had it all. You can keep your stuff cold. What needed to be cold. Leftovers or whatever. The stove. We never even talked about how do I want a stove. How many burners do I want? We never talked about that. Never even talked about what do I want a wood floor, do I want a carpet floor. Never talked about that. Not one time did we. Cabinetry. We knew about somewhat with the cabinetry up top and bottom. And that, yes, we knew we were going to have some kind of kitchen table. Yes. We knew we were going to have a wall. And that we knew we were going to have new windows, power locks, instant start, electric start, instant start, same thing. And we knew we were going to run solar panels. We didn't know the wattage. We didn't know how many batteries, how many solar panels, how many wattage yet. But that's about it. I didn't know how I was going to stay warm, didn't know how I was going to stay cool, and didn't know how I was going to cook the food just yet. Besides the stuff I had already. But, see, I had a flat skillet already, had a toaster, pop-up toaster. I even have a toaster oven, too. I could have even used that. Then, down to, I'm not going to cook a steak in a toaster oven. I want to fry it. And I never had a one burner kind of setup or anything like that. Then, was I going to be running propane or natural gas for the instant water? We were still talking about that before they called them in to go back to the Army. But I just want to let you guys know that that was a project I've always wanted to do. But duties happen. Duties happen for a reason. And if he does watch this video, I just want to say I miss you, guy. I miss you, guy. Hope to see you. Maybe do webcam one day. It'd be really cool. You know who you are, buddy. Try to get a hold of me. Same Facebook. Even if you message the video on the old YouTube account or this account, if you can find this account. As of right now, I don't know any way of finding his wife. I never really added her. And I don't know if he goes on his Facebook. I don't even look. Because I don't see any kind of updates or anything like that, or any updates for his birthday. I really don't even know when his birthday is. All I really knew was somewhat my age. That's all I really knew. Never knew when his birthday was. And anything like that, I never asked him. It was none of my business, really. But I'll let you guys go. This video is getting longer than I expected. I still got to bring in 2 loads of wood. And it's supposed to be cold this weekend. Today's Thursday. I'm making this video. Thanks for watching. God bless you all. Stay safe. And remember, if you're not watching, you're not knowing what's going on in this channel. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And always, thank you. And God bless.